You're given $1,000 cash every day, but anytime you need to poop, you have to use a public restroom. Are you taking the $1,000? Why or why not? Yes, because my job is now shitting in public restrooms and I am incredibly well paid, so I'm going to do it well. Exactly. $365,000 salary to just shit in a public toilet? I'm going to be damn good at my job. I'm basically going to make that money to just find the cleanest, most solitude public toilet in my area. Or just use that money to build your own perfect public toilet right outside your house. And it always has a closed sign on it, like the ice cream machine at McDonald's. I'd poop in front of a live studio audience for $1,000 a day. I would pay $1,000 for that. I think we're onto something. Supply, meet demand. On $365,000 a year, I'm pretty sure the public restrooms I'll be using will be very nice. Or I'll just walk into expensive hotel lobbies. I'm not gonna lie, actually shitting in a public restroom is fine. What's deterring me is having to drive somewhere every time I have to take a shit. I'd probably still do it. Earning this amount of money and not moving to a place where there are public restrooms close to your house would be stupid. I don't care about the school district. How are the public restrooms in a 300-yard radius? Suddenly living next to a gas station doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, it does. There are nicer public washrooms, bro. Save up money, buy the gas station, make it the most luxurious restroom in the world, and hire an extra person full-time to keep it that way. Step 5, profit. Is it optional each day, or do I have to keep the streak alive? I'd do it either way. I'm sure I could come up with a system to make this less painful. All you would have to do is quit your job, then once or twice a day travel to a public restroom. Seems like it'd be super simple to do. Edit, let me just settle all the what ifs people keep asking me. For $365K a year, I would simply move somewhere with lots of land, build a public bathroom on my property that can accessed by anyone who happened to be driving by. I would try and choose a place where this would never really happen though, so it would basically just be my own personal public bathroom that is extremely easy and quick to access. Until you are sick. What are the rules? Can I stay home that day and not get the money? That'd be fine. Do I have to do it every day or lose it the first time I don't use a public restroom? Then I guess a couple times a year I need to camp out in a public restroom. Not ever having to work again seems like a fine trade-off. I feel like the ultimate technically win here would be to move into an apartment or condo where the building you live in has a public restroom. Half the time there might be a homeless person living in it, but they'll give you privacy when you need to do your business. Especially if you give them $100 to duck off. Hell, pay them $100 a day to be your bathroom concierge and make sure a stall is always kept pristine for your tush. Excellent shit, sir. You know it, baby. I read that in Bender's voice. I read everything in Bender's voice. The doctor said I have a condition. People here really underestimate the impact of a $365,000 salary and overestimate the dirtiness of public restrooms. For $365,000 a year I'll shit in public, restrooms be damned. $365K per year to walk to the local cafe or supermarket? Yes. My only question is what happens if Teresa weird night poop? The latest place open around here closes at 11 p.m. You have the funds to build your own public restroom in front of your house. And give it really inconvenient hours or an oddly high price or something that makes it only technically public. So from 4:12 am to 4:28 am you can pay $30 to use this toilet. Payable only in nickels. But as the operator of the toilet you have a key to access it at any hour for free. Or make your own bathroom available to the public, but only under equally complex hours and such. There are a number of office buildings required to have publicly accessible spaces, but they're inevitably on the roof and you need to get a key from security to be allowed up there, only during business hours, and you have to know that it even exists in the first place. It was only installed because of the ridiculous law requiring it, but it does exist and is technically open to the public. It's just such a hassle for so little return that nobody who doesn't already work there would care or bother. This comment reminds me when people would nullify the shittiness of any given superpower in shitty superpowers. Welcome to law. Here are the stipulations. Now, how can I get what I actually want while still being in compliance? Hell yes, I'll take that deal. In fact, you can make it a glass public restroom and y'all can come watch. Besides, if it can be any public restroom, I know a few stores that have some really clean ones. Not to mention, because of healthy issues, I only poop 2 or so times a week, so let's do this. Sir, I'm sorry, but if you poop only twice a week, we'll only give you $150 per day. So if I poop 3 times a day, you'll give me $3K? Time to bulk purchase some enema. Anyone who's saying no to this is absolutely mental. For the inconvenience of having to go to a public washroom every time you need to poop, you get over $300K a year in income, assuming it's not taxed. You're literally set for life. You can probably hire a limo driver and a bodyguard to stand guard while you take the most profitable shit of your life. Anyone who's saying no to this is absolutely mental. It's because it's a stupid scenario that's a no-brainer, like almost all of the you get X money but questions that get posted here. For $577,273,865,719, would you take a small paper cut once? Gee, how can I ever make such a difficult choice? My IBS is way too unpredictable to rely on being near a public restroom every time I have to poop. Edit, after a few dozen responses, yes, you're all super clever for coming up with the novel and definitely unique solution of just pooping your pants. Before anyone else writes something similar, let me clarify that I am choosing to interpret this question in the most challenging way possible to earn the $1,000 a day. Meaning, any poop episode outside of a public bathroom voids the deal. Pooping your pants voids the deal. In that framework and with that limitation, I'd reluctantly pass on what would otherwise be a pretty good deal. Yeah, my first thought was folks with IBS or Crohn's. They're one of the few cases where this might not be a worthwhile trade. Even then, I'd just find a place to live that's a few steps from a public bathroom and set up a deal where I get 24-hour use. I shit once every 2 to 3 days. For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. For that money, you could build a house with a public shop attached to it, just sell really obscure, crappy overpriced product and have insanely odd business hours to ensure the store is almost always empty, and shit in your shop bathroom. Why are there so many posts here like this? Would you accept a life-changing amount of money that would give you and your family a life of luxury free from labor and any financial problem for the rest of your lives, but you get moderate hiccups every time you come within 14 feet of a red 2009 Ford Fiesta? Because Reddit, especially the popular subreddits like AskReddit, skew young and don't really have an appreciation of large sums of money, as they tend to have the safety net of their parents to fall back on. I would take the deal for 24 grand, as that would take care of my rent for the year, which would be huge. 12 grand is the point where I actually have to start weighing the pros and cons. For $365,000, you could incorporate the whole thing into a Japanese game show and make me sign a 5-year contract. I'm still in. I open a pay-to-enter public restroom in front of the hypothetical house I own. No one pays to shit where I live, place is mine. If for some reason people do decide to pay, open a second bathroom that's free right next door. I'm from India. Well, shit. With $365,000 a year, you could move next door to a Booksies in Texas and shit in the nicest public restrooms in the Western Hemisphere. And you could buy some beaver nuggets on the way out. Imagine the immigration process though. So I make $365,000 a year. Doing what? Let's just say I'm a public restroom quality expert. For $365,000 yearly, I can afford to purchase the property next door, build a convenience store, and pay staff to clean it for me $247. You don't even need a convenience store. I would just build a single public restroom on some residential street. Or part of my garage. Make it available to public, but basically nobody would use it except the occasional dog walker with an emergency. Sounds good. I'm usually out and about anyway.